Durjin Janjan Dalo Naroda, Mabamala Chuja Gamboba, Bamorba, Javandung. Kaju Lama Nanja Dajo, Tangu Doje, Rezondra, Shinjamada, Duja, Pungjamba, Sergio Lumbo, Davra Jibuk, Shakji Jabe, Jabdung, Danandana Zera Tamja, Lama Lampa Laye, Jisozon, Lasan Jamzang Alava. Dindru Donjin Drabagala Zor Dagalo Chuson Roar Zinja Labda Zor Chu London Roar Zinja Labdas Laman Droba Zebra Zinja Labda Zor Droba Yizon Javara Zinja Labda Zor Kange Tinjin Javan Jong Gaba Meba Je Meba Cheba Meba Da Meba Meba Do Meba Da De Domen Dunje Me Drupanya Jeje Damba Zobo Zanje Manonje Damba De La Janzar Do Dunje Zavala Ma Jeje Kuzon Do Jinlong Do Da Da Ge Julong Be Da Da Ge Damba Dan Sun Jen Je Dong Jia Chen Ban Zhe Bar Shen Jia Lab Do So Nangka Dang Nyam Be Sim Jin Tam Chi Chu Dong De Din De La Na Me Bar Yang Da Ba Zobo San Ji Ju Gong Pang Rong Bo Chi To Bar Xia Teach the Dambe Chu Kan Hi Sin De Do Nyam Su Lang War Jiwo Nyam Be Samba Chang Chu Chu Tu Sim Chi Ba Dang Chu Nin Be Gun Ju Da Gun Long Ma Na Wo Gun Sim Ban Chal.
So cultivate a motivation to thinking that I'm going to establish all sentient beings limitless as space in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete Buddhahood. And for this purpose, I'm going to listen to the Dharma and then engage in practice. So cultivate such a motivation of bodhicitta and an unmistaken motivation when listening to the Dharma.
Tagum Chupa Shibande Hipakaps, Tan Jikten Yanda Katawa, Legumde Yuparta Tawan Ditoni, Hyundu, Jumde Kejik Sambaranzo in Shubarwa. Ta Jumde Kejik Sambaranzo the Tu Tataba Tola Sambaranzo Yimba, Pedang Jard Husimbare. Ta then Pat Sim Pundo de Yang, then Jumde Shibate Sambaranzo Chad Yoris. Samba Getam Migi Sebja Le Gedik Zungni Chichong Jimarang Sumbatarduris.
So, in the context of you practice and conduct, in terms of the view, you're speaking about the authentic worldly view, a correct view of karma, cause, and effect. All phenomena are the embodiments of momentary thoughts. So we already now spoke about how various phenomena are the embodiment of our thoughts at the moment right now, but also after one has died, phenomena appearances are the embodiment of one's momentary thought. And it is said what determines virtue and non-virtue is one's inner thought. Do not follow the reflection of outer virtue and non-virtue.
Tangarang zo jiwa yuni zongde t-shirt chiwa shiba de yore. Tan chiwa shiba de hamza zangri ma do ngarang zu to de ba yong ge yorwa. Te zame ha go rwa. Tan chiwa ge ni mo ji to de ba yong du. Tan namja jun de le jun den de su to la sam no mambo tang de ba yina. O ta tre ngan chiwa ge tu la lab khas. Per na pu ni na tanda chi gre. Mo zhong de pacher ta Chivo the Nawo New Yorba. Chivo to Pache Tsar Gang Da Nawo Tarong Yore, teacups, tutors in the Jingdoya Yore. Ta Pardo Tamjung or to Tachurant the Here Yores. Then that sent la Machama in La Soboke. That so pimbo Hue Yor Dan the Zondon the Gainsina Namjun da. Lemde to sola samo yabo tang de ban teacups that or that ring on Gunetane Hawasiba the total Babson, the in the da then they wonder well I'm just sayari matoke tan rema sonsan ro ji chowa che sibarwa di chowa de zang ge pinto chimbo yore warning e hie on matun tan namjun tanda samno ke ma tang chen de ge zhan dor ni jong cha dang rang tol samno de khor de wa ina ta sani shubni mo lan du yang ta jola cha de yore top ko sala cha de yore ro mo la cha de yore 다 데이터베는 되니 고 파티와 스말은 론도미바 철샘 차드요바 이나 텔라는 라왕니 미바 다 담보 휴버그 동하 나족 차족 옥담제 제 인다 잘라네 망가 안데 동하 같이 요메 또 투더난도 베 힙자 라비오레 대손지나 데이터 동하디 칼라타 동하가 칼라 동하제 다 따라제 Sendala ma cha yin la so ba ke teni de so mambo yong yo ra teni chu ge wan de mi na tan ju ba la so ba mambo yong yo ra tel ten ta to ha chimbo yong yo ris
So once we are born, we are going to die. It is just a matter of time, but it will all happen to us. So we understand that this will happen to us. We know that. And so if one is someone who has thought about karma a lot, then when death comes, then one will think that today is the time I'm going to die. And so then in the Tibetan tradition, we say that when a person dies, so there is the outer and the inner breath that cease. So when the outer breath has ceased, there still is the inner breath. And so in the Tibetan tradition, when the outer breath has already ceased, but then there's still the inner breath, that is when we are reading to the deceased person the liberation upon hearing, the Bardo Tudor. And that very, in great detail, introduces the person to the Bardo, and you tell them, today you're dying, do not be attached, do not cling to this life. And so to say that in that moment is extremely beneficial, especially if that's a person who has considered karma on an ongoing basis. Then they will recognize, oh, today this is really the time of death now. And now what I have to do is go from happiness to happiness. I have to find my path to happiness. So there's this feeling that then arises. And that's very, very good to arise, very beneficial. That's why it's good to introduce them to that. Because if one is attached to this life, and if one kind of is preoccupied with like kind of subduing one's adversaries, one's enemies, and caring for one's family and friends and so on, if there are many thoughts of attachment and aversion, then later when death actually comes, then one dies with a mind that is attached to the material wealth and attached to one's companions and the things that one wants to achieve and so on. And one doesn't want to go on to the next life. One is attached to this life, but one doesn't have any freedom over it, no control over it. And so, and therefore it is good to very clearly reflect upon when dying, because there's a lot of suffering when we die normally. There's all these levels of dissolution, like the breath ceasing, there's pain and sickness and so on. And then if we think about if we hear those words of the Pado Turjur carefully, then it explains all of these different sufferings that we go through at the time of death. And that's very beneficial to hear, because otherwise there is just suffering upon suffering. And there are many things that we are attached to in this life. And then regret might arise that we haven't practiced the Dharma, that we haven't practiced virtue in our life. And so we experience a lot of suffering.
Ta de in za tata ni ngaran so ke jumde de so to la sano tang tanda che na tenin chika la mo te la yang te ya sem na tin to ko yores per na kandari se na ta dong che yang hyo go yore tong tong che dor de che ngumba je yore ngumba se da se ndo ki je yore sanje ke daran do klin yin na yor dan da ta korang ke korang zada tena nying je po je yore tene korang re gang la rida se lan ron ro che ti zada te ta tene korang longba te la japo je yo sare japo pe chodam ji japo ngimpo je yo sare te korang ni lunder che de ba res ko chen nang le de tene ko pe control ang te ko ka tambo jawo de se chi che do nda jan
가르쳐는 고 롱드서는 가르치기도.
ko chen nang le ra japo tang korang ge jimi yorang ngomba ke jimi
누구 기기면.
korang ni lunder che ne re tene ko te ko control san do
So 갸부디 콩트사레 소 콩트사.
ngomba de
아니
control sa
갸부디 롬포기 기만 되어서래.
japo control sa jumsin jira yo mara
마레 갸부디 술라 드라마 갸부디 기만 되라 드라마서래.
japo de ngomba de ke jimi nyeng je bo je yor stela jawa che de
텔란 드라마서. 어디 누구한테 컨트롤하는 거래요.
jimi de ta loyam de je de wa teni ko ngomba de nang na chal de control sa teni japo de se go tin ko da yo na da yan de che do ta mo su chi che do che de teni ko la sam no jin ko da o ta japo de da ka cho ta cho dam rong du kya no sa ra ko la tenda ji ri de nga longba din na ta ta ba de cho wa re khu nga lan che wa jiang je yo ma re pe ka den chi bo ri san te ko ke ka den sam no tang tenda che do ka den den de ni ja bo la o da ji ning jin rao ji do ko kan dar de jin de di jin ko chen pe no ko la yo le ji song re ko ti sam ba ke da rang sam ba to yi ma do ko ta par sim jin su na ron dong ge ji ro wa de ba ja yang drum dong ge ji ro wa 다 챔피언도 대양 좀 제게 직선 브라운스 대전 그 누바 연구 요리스.
So if we are reflecting on karma now, then also later when we die, we will be able to remember karma. There's one short story about a hunter he went hunting and in the mountains. And so that's also actually told in the Buddha Sutras. So anyways, he went hunting. And so in this land, there was a king, a very ambitious maybe king. And so anyways, it turned out that one time when the hunter went hunting, the hunter also happened to have a very beautiful wife. And so while he was hunting, the wife was cheating on him with the king. So the wife had a sexual affair with the king. And then when the hunter came back home, he found out and he was really angry with the king and he wanted to kill the king. So he prepared. And so he prepared his bow and arrow and got ready to kill the king. But then he thought about the king, and he thought that the king is what he did was really wrong, but also the king has never done me any harm in this country. He's always been very kind to me. So he remembered the kindness of the king, and then he developed compassion for the king. And so then the hunter, when he died, he was born in the god realm because of this intention. So normally, actually, because he was a hunter, he committed a lot of negative karma because normally he would always go about killing animals. But because all phenomena are the embodiments of momentary thoughts, due to the power of his thought at the time of death, he was born in the god realm.
Ta de la yang yin da do ne je yo re rong je yo re de ka re re sina Churang su konyong yo jure chuja nyangi mi sin da zambal in the gun la chuti karero chuti mambo jing ro rangka ta ta ting him dong ak chi jar je ro chi ting kan do te yimin ting da ta chu ma so sapo ma jong te kantar ko sipa chung chung yin de teni sanjen ji re sanjen ji ne ko ke sanje ke lungzi na de sema ji lo do sema ji lo na ta de la sanje ke de long tin na de ko mang ba la te ta chujar chuji ja wo cha gri de le den chudi mang bo ying re la so ba long tin ya re sanje ke ta sanje ke long tin ma na yi nyang yi me de da rang chuji ja wo cha ne de ne chudi mang bo yen sanje ke gudong ring ser tu so la chudi yin wa la so ba chudi thomar yin ke khong ba de la so ba na wa re ba 다 콩 만데 뭐는 샤마 든renla 콩 흉와리 나와리 간다 나네 나데 니사나 홍소나 다 나네 니사나 홍소데 데네 코랑 라 요모 요라 요모케 데 다가랑스 다라나 롱커 요라 딕 참라고 다 코랑 졸라 세그즈야 바 룽yap요레 데 용나라 다 자가 차바 롱바르바 데데나 비욕데데 다데 드라마보게 공게 ne tang rwa ten za te lung yap de yong de na we de se yap tam ma lai ba shi la se yap de yo ma pi ne ma se yap de ma sa ne kong kin de ching ka la de ma sa do sa du ta ja wo pe de ka sam nong ni pa ji ne o ta ngang ni ma pe tom hin ra jing ge de ni ja wo ri si dra tam je ka nga nang go go de na chi ki yu ri si tanga trena ne na sa kana ra chu go chan du ta na nga yo mo de ga nga la tan thon chong ye le chi do de de ko control sa do control sa se ma ji de de ni ko ti jin de chen pu so zhong sun de ni ta de ta ta pu la yo re ta ka sa ka la yo ra ma zhong do de la ma ding ge wa la ma de ni ta na ja chong ban ro la ma ngu ta na nyam to yong ki din do din de la ma de ge 다 냥이 미 가와지 다 된데 디 자오 자강 요사 되는 춤소 충종 뭐진도 추라 춤소 충종 딘나 달럭 당가랑 소리 드라 소바 냐다 바하드 솔로 트라라 츠거원 드라 심진지 그 지와랑데 서와 디 지와랑 디 코카 당노 담바만 보사치 웬데 데드 서와 디 라마테 기타 트라마 카츠 dipakala dipasa ju yomari son devente koma khatsam dawe tini ta jis
su khatsam
ti simji dela
pobode samchinte ha
nyangi me ge jiwa lang so tini kama tsam dawe te ko tini jin ko tsempe na yang nguma ko le gewa sa yel tin dawe tini yang la ya las bar jiwa lo ju ringbo ro yo re tenza ke jik sam branzo yimba chesma la yam phon de ya ta rang ris.
Then there's another story that you might have heard before about King Ashoka. And so Ashoka was known to have built many stupas. I'm not sure about the number now, but it might have been 108. So when he was very young, a boy, he met the Buddha and he offered some sand into the begging bowl of the Buddha. And then the Buddha gave a prophecy and he said that in the future you will become Dharma king and you will build many stupas. And so then according to this prophecy, Ashoka became a powerful king and he built so many stupas, also containing the relics of the Buddha himself. And so he built out all of these stupas, but then he fell very ill and it was 7 days until his death. And during that time, he was bedridden. He was in bed, and he had a maid, like a servant. And so at that time, in the old days in India, they didn't have like fans, electric fans and things like that. So they had like a handheld fan, made with some different like leaves and so on. And so anyways, the servant, she was like fanning over the king to give him some cool air. But then the fan broke and fell down onto the king accidentally. But then the king didn't realize what happened, so he had a negative thought. And he thought that my whole life I was this powerful, famous king. Even my enemies would respect me. And now even my mate, now that I'm in a bad state, even my mate is looking down on me. And so he got angry and upset. And then he died in this way. And so then after he had died, now in Tibet there's also this tradition where then one invites a lama, so someone with some clairvoyant powers and practice and realization. They can see, like an arhat, they can see where somebody was born. And so some people were asking them where Ashoka took birth. And so there was this like little pool, this pond of water, a water pond, and there was little like, in the Tibetan tradition, like frogs and snakes and these kind of animals, fish and so on, are considered to belong to the Naga realm. And so there was this frog that he took birth in, which I said was like a Naga, and had its mouth open and was eating all these little insects. And then that lama said, close your mouth and don't commit any more wrong. So then the frog closed its mouth, and then died. And due to the virtue accumulated in the past when he was the King Ashoka, then he was born in the God realm. So there's a whole long story about that too, but just in brief to show that also in future lives, whatever appears is the embodiment of the momentary thought.
That's in the Tong Chun Yong Jordan. Say Mampung Mus Yong Gare Yong Yores, Digalata Shubaina. Jirdan da Nankani Ma Charapana Sagila Jando Yaji Yombanda, Tong Chun Yong Jog Jumdere. Matsuku Sam Nochi Donang Jake yo, Mari Mato Donang Jebaina, Jumde Tamji, a Lapenterno yo de Baris. Nankani Chapa Mapana, Sagila Zatoya Jegona, Yonkamadawa. Chungsa Jinxian, Matsuba go solution, Niman and Tess dead, Yanan, make a bottom to Madame Kambanan, naturally. Kambanan and Napos gay or married, slow make the Nimani, that chase on Jimsinke, Tini, Tenachang, the one. The so Tamjia, Joda Jin the Tucson. Jimde said the cantar Jujin Timder Chad Yoruba. They John Majilla Patsik Dukjajila, Saratsik Dukjajila, Uncodo. Tana saw me baga Jajila Churanke, Kyobpa Dele La, Kyobpa Dele La, Uncodo. Then that up zero and Jikten Sajanda. Le Masa Badam Mente Sapan, Chu Maza Sumgön, Jimde said. And the so tam so young to Kyobpa, there one answer.
And actually, karma is something that we can really observe in this life, in this world right now. For example, when it rains from the sky, then the grass and everything grows. We can see that. It's just we don't pay attention to it. If we would pay attention to it, we could see how karma is really in the palms of our hands. If it doesn't rain, then nothing will grow. Or for example, if you go outside in the sun, and you come back inside, sometimes you're like blind that you can't see anything. It's not because it's dark inside, it's because you've been outside and your eyes have connected too much with the sun, and then everything appears dark. So this is just causes and conditions. Everything depends on causes and conditions. And that is what karma is. It is the interdependence of causes and conditions. If you insult someone, then they likely will also insult you. And so, or even if it's like not another being, if you like shout good morning into like a mountain valley, then good morning comes back to you. So it's like an echo. It is said that if karma is not accumulated, a result will not be encountered. But if it is accumulated, then the result will never become spoiled. So this is how we can observe it right here and now.
Ta lendela samno tondang mambo yonggo yore de perna ta ngaran zu ta hi gonu kubana yi che shima shewande tarin boke mari nam lemgo yo suji ge ngi ba yo mari namche chami jiji ngi mi cha de yo zang ta shima la pa dong ro de jiwa shima lan ro de ta tan so so ge zugbo ge lunde 소소 다다랑왕 요바게 룬데라양 크랑 미바제 남 네밥제 차용 거로와 대 다다랑은 저그 접밤전도 솔라 착샘 첨보 지체나 되니 베 동하게 점아도 로그 마리스 다축 다다처럼 그 접밤전도 솔 루동 터미나 저런 휴베니 뭐 저런 그 루동 터야 그 짐생게요 말아와 샘그 돈이 라왕 미바리 lu che tong ko yo mare de chorang jo pan jo ko chorang lo yong ko yo kan da pen so ji chorang tren o tanga tren tin don ro gins del de gins ta chorang te sam phak su sun khang ba nan song tin ne ra ji chik ta ra o de lang ga cha lan den dong e de khor gon don de khor gon don de khor go sang bro o tang e chama khor go sman ro ji ta chama khor nu ro san ro mi de o ka le kha bo yo do 다산원이 빠졌다나 나 따라 되는 돈도 등에 잘라 충충 드성에 르땅터면도 에 컬건도 드속가 나 존도와 당아 히베니 모델라 당알 찍과 직장 연거와 대 컬나 가반도 거다 대 답을 줘는 삼노 땅네 줌제 히바데 삼노 땅네 되니 이 지구밖에 내 답지 내와지 차도 요르스
So there's many ways in which we can think about karma. The next life, as you mentioned before, is not far away, and we don't know when we come to our next life. The timing of our death is uncertain, and so are the causes of our death. So when we go on to our next life. So right now we have this body and we have some freedom, but then when we die, we have no more freedom over it. So now if we are attached to our possessions and wealth, then this will only become the cause of suffering at the time of death. Because even now we are not able to give up any of our wealth and possessions. But then at the time of death, we have no control over giving or not giving up our wealth and possessions. So it's not like that you're giving it up, but the wealth is giving you up. So it has deceived you. So for example, if I'm traveling somewhere, then I'm looking around in my house, what I'm going to bring with me. And then I'm thinking, I take this and I take that and I take everything. But then we can't take everything. We can't carry everything. So then you keep thinking. So I cannot even give up even a small object like that. But then when I die, it will become exactly like that. I can't bring any of that with me. So karma is something that we develop trust in by really reflecting upon it.
다야 잉그 통도 정보 이나리 다나 잉게 다지 매당 담다 강다 간이제 장초성 그 지신 소이나 인도도 차안가 여러와 인도도 차용바이나 다 희변이 못도 솔라 착샘게 그저 요말 레라보도는 되니 고바 짐바라고 땅 주반 보이 쇼고 요장 되니 소소라 핀야 근네 담도르 때인자양 고 잉도도 도망라 자와망바 송바나 잉게 된 저게 요래 되게 나랑서 희변에 값어야 강하게 되게 요말에 로바지게 요래 스토하고 고 요래 가서 시랍게 도네 ko jumje se terwa.
But then it is different when it is all done for the benefit of others. So if you are using your wealth and your possessions and name and so on of this life with bodhicitta, then whatever you do becomes the benefit of others. And then when the time of death comes, you will not be attached, and then you will easily let go and practice generosity and make offerings. So then it actually, like, those possessions can become beneficial because you are actually putting them to practice for the sake of others. So if it is for the sake of others, then any activity becomes meaningful. And then at the time of death, they will not cause you difficulty or suffering, but actually become supportive. So this is how we can understand karma, by reflecting on it with intelligence.
So rang ke je nyam nyong ro sa na ta wa na ngu se che par chen bo yong do per na deb je o na deb lo che de o ti deb de ya bu do si ina dang e me yin ba ji le zhe go sa men de le zhe go sam yang do sam ke yo me ba ji ta ji le zhe go sam na te ni ti deb de la len do ri so na ke ke ji te ni ji ni de ju ba ji o su ko na ko deb lo do ge chen nu sam yang do ma de o cho wa ke ke ji ong ko ma do de ji ji zo go de ge deb de len zin cha do ong ko ma do ko ji di sab de ji su yang do su ko na deb de lo do ge ya bo rin do sam yang do de sang tam na sang de sang ma de na xin cha do ji ong ko ma do de ni ya deb ji o dan deng a ji bo go sing a do ro tin de xu wi niar de ta dem参加的拉人的意思呢，大的真样式的搞完呢，苏克松啊因呢，这上呢真正把的讲，等你个单配了有人，干嘛了？你要话这大部分你要话加息，干是呢，这个克松啥的多把几，这场忙不几的，等来年把忙不上，如果有人把钱忙不有呢，那大概说让个是渗透了加把因那样，那这个。Jumje Shibande, Nedang Tarang Chayang Gurisi.
So if we think from our personal experience, we can really see the difference in how we think about it. So for example, if you have a book, you read a book, and you think it's a really good book, and then you think, so I must give it to somebody else. But not any specific person, just anyone who wants to read it. Then if anyone gets hold of that book, there will be no regret in your mind, and you will just feel anyone can take it. It doesn't bother me. So there's no feeling. There's no feeling of clinging to the book. You will rejoice in whoever gets a hold of it and reads the book. There's no attachment to the book. So if you're attached to that book, and you think it's only mine and I will keep it, and then if somebody else takes it and you keep thinking about it, where is it and who took it and so on, then there's grasping in the mind. There's this proverb in Tibetan that says, like as thief has one hell, and the owner, like from whom it was stolen, has 100 hells. It's because the owner is attached to their wealth and they wonder who will take it. I don't want to give it away and so on. So then due to this thinking, many negative karmic imprints are placed within the mind. And so anyways, in this way, we can apply this reflection on the nature of karma onto our own minds.
Це мампу на я лютамче мусдан джонро йоба 데 줌제케 직 삼바란조 임반데 제타비지 리 슈바이나 단데 산제케 파체른 돈 장로는 송사요 데 디게 링히제나레 동 로지티 휴게인스 다 로지는 zon다 닌드 로지 닌당 하마오나 로지 망자는 녀용 그래 간신 소소다 로지티 팔 파타링 보 휴차데로 로주 닌당 하거나 teni ngune logic chowa te to yoris kandarisina soso rang che ti tu ne kapsu yu de chonang da ji chen ngarang su loni te ba na hi loni ta de ngarang su sem de yongzo koran panjun ro yorwa tel te ne teni ko dwa under ter ke yorwa te ta be ne teni ta tam na ni tam na te yung ko yor dan de logic hi ndo wan de chi hi ju ma ni ne hi ndo ko yo ba mare de che lemde la chi chi te pa and tang Jikten yanda ka tawa ji simnang na njo otong sa rewa we na xie yung ko yore te xie ya tsipa la ta che sanje ke jibsim mala re pa ke longrik dan rewa jin de che son de ta sanje ke ka dan long dan da ji kton ne pa xie go yore ma to tene yang so so ji po ke che nyam nyong da wen sin xie de ba na tene yang ka da ma thön na ka dan gar we nyam nyong lok to cha ro yoro te yin za te sanje ke sum ya ba che
And even if we have not died, our body is constantly changing, and so there's regarding that. This is also how phenomena are embodiments of momentary thoughts, and so regarding that, there is a story in a sutra called the Sutra of the Foolish and the Wise. Told by the Buddha. And so now if you don't know how to listen to stories, then it might feel that there's just too many stories and you will get bored by all these stories. And then your story and your mind are not connected. But if you know how to really listen to a story, then a story can really give you a special feeling. For example, it's like when you're watching a TV show, like a film, it's like your mind really goes into there. Your mind becomes immersed in that story of the movie. And then this immersion is what generates the special feeling when you're watching a movie. And so just like that, if you listen to a story like this in this way, your mind becomes immersed in that story like in a movie. And then a story that is being told is not just some ordinary story, but it's a story hoping to convey, hoping to generate trust in karma and to cultivate the correct worldly view of karma. Milarepa also said that one has to combine the teachings with the scriptures and with reasoning. So the scriptures are the words of the Buddha. They have to agree with the teaching have to agree with the words of the Buddha. Now, if one only speaks from one's own personal experience only, and if that doesn't necessarily agree with the Buddha's words, it could also lead to misconception. So in any case, for this reason, I will share a story.
Da sanje usong ke tene loma tanje tene hingna anand tene gom jamne yogde bares tikap dela tene sacha de la lo yorwa lo je la tene baji ki bare te pate chong 자jar 충칭 히바데 로에 카노로 와데 자jar 충칭 그 로에 버드 커
자jar 충칭
가루다
티 카레 에 중하고 이나 양티 카레
로케 님보로 와 로이 님보
로 님보
로케 카노 라다 자jar 충칭 제데데 로탄제 자jar 충칭 라다 로 카노 라다 자jar 충칭 아
bien ahora chunche
discarese
como lo de la bogue ahora teni bote kare lo chik de lo re chik de kare chungre
garu tra ke
ha kore
teni lo che lo boji ji de bote cher songari ta garu tra ke
al cher songre
cher songne teni tara sanje usong ke loma gom jane hina na yoz ti ta ne sa chela khor yong baris reje gang la Redigana Korean. Redigana Korean do. Teni Koga Rabe Pata and do. Ta Sanjik in Tutu Zonda, Gomjan, Hinabala, Hiva Lupo, we yoded. They call Jisi Ranchido. Oh, Tanda called Donghami Pa. Hiking Torah, Tanda Yapol Yawala, Tintico, Tanda Jisi Ranchi.
Chung de Yana de Lode.
Lotte.
Lode.
Lotte called Donga Yore, Chong la Heke Yore, Dako Soji and Yoratini. The Nin to the Gom Jankin so be Hiwaluba Gomja, they called Jisi Ranchi, Jete, Tini, that Chong de Catella se, Traris Vesomare. They were soon the Tene. Teni kog tara jisi rang ji jiswa tara gom jankin tamjila. Ti ke sunam ke ko ti sanje usong ke ta lakang zo gora te gendun ba yosa ta ni sa jigla jamze ji ke pala jiwa langsomare. Tambo te pa de xin na. Nga ki ti we na yang nyom ro chi. Chi tena te pa de hi.
So at the time of the Buddha Kashyapa, there were the Buddha Kashyapa's disciples who were meditating in the forest, and so then close by there was a Naga who had a child, but that child, the Naga child, was stolen by a Garuda, so the Garuda took it away, and so then they flew off and they came to that forest where the Buddha Kashyapa's disciples were meditating, and so then the Naga child was afraid because the Garuda was going to kill him, and so he suffered. But then when he saw the Buddha's disciples meditating here in the forest, he rejoiced and he felt that they are so peaceful, they're meditating, they don't suffer and so on. And so he rejoiced in that. And then the Garuda killed him. And then through the merit of having rejoiced in the disciples' meditation, then he was born as a Brahmin boy close by the Buddha Kashyapa's assembly hall of the Sanghas, like the temple.
Teni koya chalong shong ne teni sanji usong ke chu jisen rang ne teni ko sanji den chu hu teni ko la nyam to ba ji ne dra chong ba cha song are dra chong ba cha de teni ngu hi thom yong yo ro ngu hi thom de da ko ke jiwa nga ma ka wa ji re ka wa ta de te ko ta ta ha ko res da ko ha ko de teni ko phamani de teni ko zhongsun de dra da dongha yi ji ge yo ba ko ke ha ko re teni talas chin ne teni ko ke phamani la da nga dra yin si teni chorani dongha ma ji la ba res
in the song re phama sa de na song re de la pebre
ko phaman dam na perwa
the pera
ko phama lo re la
So he was born as this Brahmin boy, and then after he had grown up, he became a follower of the Buddha Kashyapa. So he received his teachings and he practiced them, and he attained realization. He became an arhat, and an arhat possesses clairvoyant abilities. So he could clearly see his past rebirth, his birth as a Naga, and so then he also saw how his parents had suffered when he disappeared. So then he went to see those past life Naga parents, and he told them, "Now I'm like this, so please don't suffer."
Teni ko ge phamani lan de he ja da phamani ha jang gan ne teni sunyom se ta Gong Chik zo chu ta par ta la yong ro ji se na phamani ke rewa ja ba re ja pa na yin teni ko ra ta phamani se je wa ngama phamani rewa teni ko ta la chin ba re Kong de la pemne sunyom yi ge yo re den de teni konang la ta xiap su la ra xiap sun ra wo je da na getser ji yo sa re getser teni tela teni churo yimba ke churang ke ta Khenpo lamnari Drachonbari, Kawa Pepsong, Zidu Koha Koma Song Labre. Tini Kotsoke, oh, Choranha Maori Mato, Koran Tauparte, the Drag, look, Yola Pemne, Tini Gong Chik Yin, Tandachi Yori, Choran Tiro Lamna, Tigri, Tandalapare. Tina Yin, Tini Koran Lamne, Tini Tara Drachonbateke, Tiris.
So then he explained all of that to his parents from the past life, and they were overjoyed. And then they said, "Always come to stay with us," and then like practice this, like having one meal a day, have one meal here. And so they requested him to always come for this practice, and so then he always went there. And he also had an attendant who was a monk, and so some of the other Dharma friends said to that attendant monk, "So do you know where the Arhat is always going? Your teacher, where he's always going?" And he said he didn't know. And then they said that he's actually always going to this Naga's home to practice, to not eat after midday. And if you ask him to bring you, he will bring you. So then he asked him to bring him, and then the Arhat brought him.
Then that Koran can Khenpo Drachonba de, the Koran the lawyer the pep with the Gong Chik chu de with it. Then that lot Pamani take a correcting is na oh. Ta Nasoka per Drachomanda, then la Dutze Pubaina, and Dutze to Shotoko Yori, then Santella Dutze Paul. Then Koran ke Hyapso the Gesarche Yora Tarati Stella, then Takola Dutze Perna Hyotogumari, Samang in Bachechiba Maritina, then Dutze Mapper, Chetanke Kalachi de Tawinachi Bari. Teche do Then Ta Tara Gesar de the Drachomba Lungzi Nani, Dutze, then a Tiba Chunchung Maji. Ma salasayum but the Kogea Kanang Chik Sare. Sadu that Dutzer Wap Messiba Troachimbo Shimbo Huidi. Then it cost Sambang in Bachisonida. Oh, that Kosungala be Nieleche Sonsi. Drachombala Tini, Dutzer Dingalatini, Sama Tabja Tentinico, control mem barnetini. Tako Mola Lobatare. Nga Tata Rang, Net Tata Bad the Chugua Dragaba, that's okay. Nebai Yonzo Tatarang mine. Tatarang a lull Jiwalin, Tini Lotasolatini, non setting geta, the Rajiwalin Ho Zente, Molatan Diva Darndu, Titarang, Jiwalane. Tini Zuponima, that you see, the Lune Ura look and Nasas Massa, and Tini Loyima Tamjelanguna, the Samala Nasas Jongswa. Then Diana, Chick Mother John Magubat, Tonchinion Jokin, the Lavene. Jiwalanswa, Dea, Sambranzon and the Hego Baris.
So then the Arhat and his attendant monk, they went together to the Nagaram, and so that they practiced, so that they had this meal with their parents. And those Naga parents thought that, well, he was our son, this Arhat. So if we offer him the Naga nectar, then he will be able to digest it. So they offered it to him. But then they thought that this attendant monk, he's a human being, so he won't be able to digest the Naga nectar. But they had no bad intention. They just thought that he couldn't digest their nectar. So they offered him normal human food. And so then some of they poured the nectar into the Arhat's bowl, and then some of it fell on the ground. And so then the attendant monk, he picked up some of the nectar and he ate it, he drank it, and the flavor was just incredible. It was nectar, it was very powerful and had it tasted really good. And so, but then he couldn't digest it. But so then, because it tasted really good, that monk had a negative thought arising in him, and he thought that, well, to the Arhat they offer this nectar, but to me they offer just this ordinary bad food. So then he got really angry at those Naga parents, and the anger was just blazing in him. And he made a corrupt aspiration, and he said that, may all the virtue I have accumulated ripen right now, and by the power of all of that, may I be born as a Naga, and may I then cause harm toward all the Nagas. So then instantly he was born as a Naga, and this Naga had contagious, infectious disease that then was contracted by all the other Nagas, and they all fell ill. So this is due to the corrupt intention that a person had before he passed away. And then this is how he was reborn right away. So this is also how all phenomena are the embodiments of our momentary thoughts.
Jikten Sumgön ke songdo je pamo drabake nawaran sem son tabar ta nawaran semri sungu yo ban rawndo ta tel drabton ta chujun kolo kurde ta zo nawaran semri son te ton sungu yo ban rawndo ta the trueness je pamo drabake nawaran sem ko trune tini kongke tarate jumre ke jik sambar zong de ni song son tini kongke tan dala hachangke za chimbo nang yo ba tanda ri de inza tini tara Gong Chik nang de chen de rang la tong chu zo wor jong song wan de chen de la mare chen de la da tini nga zong wen he simba ji ri chen de la da tong chu ke legend de tong chu nyong jor de zo cha ge yo ri song ba re.
So Jikten Sumgön's guru, Pagmo Drupam, would always say appearances are your own mind. And so his Dharma teachings were always in relation to that, how appearances are one's own mind. And so Jikten Sumgön had fully comprehended that, had fully recognized that teaching. And so based on that, then he came to the realization of this statement, all phenomena are the embodiments of momentary thoughts. And this is why he gave these teachings, this very special teaching of saying this statement. And so also in the Gong Chik, it says that therefore, that when it comes to the ripening of karma, it's mainly about this life and the experience and what we see in this life.
Ta tenda yin zan dene jambar sinju le kare song yu si na ke jik jik ki zog sang ja song de an tong chu nyong jor jumde ke jik sam brang zuk de duzi cha yong yo ba.
And then it says in the Manjushri Namasangiti, every moment is distinguished. He attains Buddhahood in a single moment. So this quotation also establishes this point here of how all phenomena are the embodiments of momentary thoughts.
Tene dana yinke da duzi pachen de gombo lo drop song sa yo. Gang de qin jiang le ji me zhe sapcho tene yo ba ma yin de song.
Then there's another quotation that establishes that. It was probably said by Nagarjuna. He said, wherever you proceed, a place untroubled by karma does not exist.
Da lek mazaba de ang chi da rang tong chu nyong jo ge to ne zo ba ke yu zan tene so so ke legend de la yi chi di toni lander de hirap ke mamong wu toni ji go yoris.
So since karma really is related to our present sights and experiences, with great trust in karma, one should be unmistaken as to what should be practiced and what should be given up, and that should be performed with unblinded, not ignorant wisdom.
De hyo godong kanri sina yang je o lejum de sije de hyuri sound lemde ktawa de vidu tini yang che kare na chi mu chi mrong wa tra da che yong ge yor ba yin dung chi de dong mang la chawa mang wa ran dung chi de dong nyong la chawa nyong wa si ba dan dor de nan te cha de yore.
And so now, then one might think that a karma, one might just think that karma is like so, what you say, something to be really be careful about, and so then one might think that then I don't dare to do anything. Then I can't do anything because karma is just so intricate. But actually, in brief, it is said that if it's for the sake of others, one should do many things, and one should do only few things, not many things for oneself.
Oh yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Sunam de tamje zibanye tovanye be janam baze de jega nanje balon robaye zibe zolan roa roar sho jambar bawe jedran jemba dan kundu zambo de an de jin de te da kunje jiso da lo je gyawan da tamje ra do ngo Simjine ba jine ba nyerde ne le tarje jen roven ne na ma le ba ta dan jong me bar jo. May every being and linked with the disease be freed at once from every malad. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly, permanently healed.